Hey, Lisa Eldridge has more products coming out, so we need to talk about it. This is that week where everybody in the beauty community has the same video out, and I'm here for it. Hi everybody and welcome to another Free.volous episode. So yes, there was a new drop on Lisa Eldridge's products and I had to get my hands on some and I had to talk about them, and we are going to talk about them today. So adding to her fabulous lip line of velvet and sort of luscious, more sheer lipsticks and glosses, Lisa Eldridge came out with some base products. She came out with liquid highlighters and cream blushes, and then she came out with a few more lipsticks, the luscious kind of range, and a few more glosses. And I got some. So let's start with the reason why my skin is bare, which is to show off the highlighter, the liquid highlighter. Here it is. It's the Elevated Glow, and I have mine in Crystal Nebula, which is the lightest color. And I must confess that as soon as it got here, I tried it out and I applied it, and I realized that for those days when I'm either heavier on the bronzer or I have applied self-tanner, Crystal Nebula is slightly lighter than I'd like, although it is really sheer. I wanted something a bit darker, so I decided to go for Solar Light, and I got it later, and it was shipped in 2 days, so it was really nice. And I'm going to give it a go for you. This is a liquid highlighter, and it's nice to see it coming from the person who originally talked about liquid highlighters way before there was something mainstream and Jaclyn Hill-y. Lisa Eldridge was already raving about Becca, and it's good to see that she's coming out with her own formula. I've noticed that both the highlighters and the blushes have seamless skin written right underneath the logo, which makes me think that this is the, skin or base range, and I can't wait to see where she expands. Will there be bronzers next, or even foundations and concealers? That would be nice. But anyway, I have a little bit of the highlighter here going straight on my bare skin. All I have is my skin prep as usual, my skincare, and I'm going to apply it to my skin. This is the lightest shade. It has a bit of a more pearly effect. It doesn't have shimmers or glitters. It has a pearly effect to it, and it looks basically juicy and glossy on the skin. That pearlescent effect is whiter on this shade, and I'm going to show you Solar Light on this side. While Crystal Nebula is, I'd say, a champagne-y color, with a bit of golden undertones to it. Solar Light is a bit more of a peachy color, and that, if you can see, melts immediately with my skin tone right off the bat when I'm wearing, because I am wearing self-tanner. So because of that, Crystal Nebula will be more impactful, and this one will be more subtle. So there you go, both one on each side. I really love the sheen that it gives. I don't usually apply these kinds of highlighters. I'm going to just go with it a bit on the forehead. I don't usually use highlighters as sort of a primer or underneath foundation. I like to just apply a little dab on top of foundation, but I'm doing this because Lisa Eldridge said that this product will sort of set into a more lifting effect, and I would love to see if we notice any difference between me before applying the the product and after, just because I wish that kind of technology would work. If you are fortunate enough to go past a certain age, gravity will start pulling you down, and yeah, sometimes you don't want to see that. I'm so sorry for the light, but it's a cloudy day and the sun is out and in and out and in, and I cannot do anything about it, so we have to work with what we have. Lisa Eldridge says to wait 3 minutes after applying this product, and it is what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you a quick comparison between the Elevated Glow highlighters and of course the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter Supermodel whatever darling bottle magic everything. I have it in number 4. I really like this highlighter. I'm going to apply it in the middle in sort of a stripe, and I'll show you both colors on each, both the Lisa Eldridge colors, one on each side. The thing I'd say that strikes me immediately is that the Charlotte Tilbury ones, I think they have more colors than Lisa Eldridge, and the texture is slightly different. So the Lisa Eldridge ones are thinner in texture, and the Charlotte Tilbury ones are, Charlotte Tilbury is in the middle, is a bit thicker in terms of consistency, and it stays, I wouldn't say tacky, but slightly slippery on the skin. It doesn't fully set, whilst the Lisa Eldridge ones, they don't fully set either, but they stay a bit more set on the skin than the Charlotte Tilbury. And here you can see this is Crystal Nebula, this is Charlotte Tilbury number 4, and this is Solar Light, which is really close to my skin tone but in a peachy way. And here they are, and I'm going to just blend them a little bit and show you up close. Again, Crystal Nebula, Charlotte Tilbury number 4, and Solar Light here. These are the main differences. I think it all depends on what your preference is in terms of finish. I'd say that someone with combination to oily skin, or someone who doesn't like that, you know, slightly more greasy in a good way feeling on the skin and finish on the skin, they will go for the Lisa Eldridge highlighters. It's been the 3 minutes. Do we notice any difference? My skin looks glorious and dewy for sure. I don't know if I notice any difference in terms of firmness. Maybe I don't need any firmness on this area. Who knows? I'm gonna go with a light coverage foundation. This is Dior Backstage, just to give me a little bit of coverage. I'm purposely applying the product on top of the highlighter just to see how much of it shines through. And I must say that Solar Light seems to not be as intense or shining through the foundation as much as Crystal Nebula. Most of Lisa's approach to foundations and stuff isn't high coverage per se, it's more pinpoint concealing where you need it. So if you're wearing heavier foundations, I don't know if this would shine through the foundation, but let's see how it looks on top. First, I'm just gonna conceal a bit more underneath my eyes and stuff like that. So this is my finished foundation kind of routine. I'm not into applying powder at this moment. We'll see if I need it later. Oh, my forehead here is shining like a diamond. Can we see that? I'm gonna go, as I said, with a little bit extra of Solar Light on my left side, your right side, over here, to see if it gives me a bit more that sheen. I'll do an up close at the end with everything on. I feel that the Crystal Nebula, because it has lighter pigments to it, pops a bit more on my skin than I'm tilting my head this way because I have a light, and so you can have light, the same light on both sides. And yeah, I feel the Solar Light one looks a bit more subtle on my skin still. The blushes. Let's talk about the cream blushes. They are called Enlivening Blush, and I got 3 colours. I wanted at least 4, but I couldn't afford everything. and they all sold out in the meantime, so boo-hoo. I got Pink Soap, Mountain Walk and Island Glow, and you can see these are very different colors. I needed them all. Pink Soap is a bit more of a neutrally dusty pink, but is still quite enlivening on the cheeks. It's not too dull that it disappears onto at least my skin tone. It's one of those easy everyday colors, I'd say. Island Glow is not a color that I would go for usually because it's a coral, a bright coral, but I was really curious about this one. Last one is a Mountain Walk, which is your bright, more magenta-y with a little bit of a purpley undertone, really fresh cheek kind of color. This one I knew I had to have. I wanted Dante's Dream. I'm really sorry I didn't get it, but I couldn't afford more at the time. So, because I have shown you the swatches on my arms, I'm going to go with just one color, which is Mountain Walk, because I'm really looking forward to using this product on camera and see how it goes. And this is a thicker kind of moussey consistency, and again a little goes a long way with these products. As Lisa Eldridge has said, this is likely too much already. Dabbing with one finger, applying it with that finger and then blending with a clean one. Oh, this is the color that I hadn't used before this video, and oh, I was right, and I'm so happy I was right. Look at this! Oh, this is so bright, I need to blend it out. The camera is eating up most of the color, sadly. The lights do that. But you really need a tiny bit, especially if you like it a bit more subtle. In person, you'll probably need half of what I'm applying right now, just saying. But yes, oh, these are so pretty. Look how fresh. A fresh rose. How pretty is that? It is sort of a natural matte kind of color, but it sort of appropriates the finish that is underneath it. So if you have a very dewy base, I'd say that it will become a dewier blusher. If you apply a very, you know, glossy highlighter on top of it, I'd say it will go glossy too. I think I want to apply this on the eyes. Did Lisa Eldridge say anything about this not being eye safe? I don't remember, but I'm an adult and I'm doing this at my own risk, so let's jump into it. I'm going to use Island Glow. This, as I said, it's a thicker formula and it almost feels too thick for the nozzle. But this one is thicker than the Mountain Walk one. So, I don't know. It comes out. It don't need that much strength, but just keep that in mind. I'm going to take a little bit and see how it goes on the eyes. It's a bright, bright coral. I really like this color on the eyes. Can we see it? They complement each other, but they're different enough to make a bit of a statement. These are great for the monochromatic looks, of course. Maybe these can be worn on the lips too. These are so easy to blend, like you want, you know, eyeshadows and blushes to blend out. The thing is, these have 15 mils? Yeah, 15 mils. It's a huge amount of product. And if I could change anything regarding these products, would be just the blushes. I would make them half the size and a bit more affordable so that everybody could buy all the colors. Because blush is something that, I don't know, usually people, a highlighter, you buy one color and you wear it mostly every day. A bronzer can be the same thing, but for a blush, you can change a bit more often. So And you'd still have a huge amount of product because you need so little. Let's see how it holds up in terms of creasing. But yeah, I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara and I'll be right back. I've applied mascara on my eyes and now let's talk about the lipsticks. She launched several colors and she had restock of others. I bought two from the Luscious line. I think you have the velvet mattes and then you have the ones that are a bit sheerer and a bit more shiny. I got two colors. This is Kitten Mischief and Painterly. These are so pretty. I'm going to show you both. I just removed my lip balm. I'm going to go with Kitten Mischief, which is a lighter. And this is supposedly Lisa's Perfect Nude. This is definitely, in my opinion, more of a pinky nude than a beigey nude or yellowy nude. I'm healing a blemish on my lips, so it's not going to look its best, but the formula is really comfortable. It has a bit of slip to it. It's more on the sheerer side. If you want a very, very high impact in terms of pigment, that's not what this does. But it is a pretty color, a pretty everyday color, I'd say. Up next, Painterly. And this, Lisa Eldridge sold this to me saying this is kind of like your bitten lips, which I'm all for. I love this kind of color. I can see myself using Painterly very, very often. I'm going to do a comparison for you between Kitten Mischief and the other more nudie colors that I have from Lisa Eldridge. Bear in mind that I don't have Love of My Life or anything which is more pinky. All the other ones that I have are more within the more neutrally beigey color. So I'm gonna start with a Velvet Fawn and then Velvet Muse, which is far darker. Velvet Affair. I'm going to do this, yeah, still far darker. Very close to Muse, actually. And then Blush. So, here, I'm terrible at swatches! So, this is Kitten Mischief right here. To its side, it's Fawn, Muse, Blush, and this one is Affair. Did I say anything wrong? I don't think so. Yeah, Muse. And as you can see, nothing within my collection actually compares to Kitten Mischief because it's far more on a pinky with a hint of coral, I'd say, when compared to Fawn. Fawn looks a bit more on a beigey pink. Also the finishes, because Kitten Mischief is a Luscious lipstick, I don't remember the name, but it's the sheerer, a bit more shiny lipstick, and the other ones are Velvet Mattes, which, like the name says, are mattes. Now, I'm going to go with the two glosses that I got, Songbird and Affair, which is the gloss for the velvet lipstick. So let's start with Songbird. Oh, it's such a pretty nudie pink color because it's really sheer. It is flattering on the lips without imposing itself on as a color on the lips. I really like it, and the texture of Lisa Eldridge's glosses is one of my favorites. I've raved about it very often, but it doesn't travel, at least on me, it doesn't travel into my fine lines. So yeah, this is Songbird. And this is Affair, which is a bit more beigey than Songbird. Yeah, although they look really similar in the packaging, they are different enough. This is a bit more neutral, nudie. Here you can see Velvet Affair and the gloss underneath it. So they're basically the same color, but because this is a gloss and it's really sheer, it turns into a completely different color on the lips. Many of the things in the website really sell out really easily, but for future reference, you know. So I'm gonna go with Painterly again. And I'm going to add, I'd go with a Fair. I'm taking it from my hand. Such a nice mix. And now I'm gonna go and do an up close and we are done. So the highlighter is basically set at this point. It doesn't feel slippery or sticky, which is good to know. Again, people like me with combination to oily skin will probably enjoy these highlighters, and it doesn't have any glitter, metallic finish, nothing like that. It just looks really dewy and juicy on the skin. Regarding the drop, I mean, I really enjoyed all the products that I have purchased. I'm not one to be a fangirl and see no flaws and stuff like that, but really, until now, there hasn't been any product from Lisa Eldridge that I haven't liked, to be honest. I love the fact that the highlighters are not a direct copy of other things that are already in the market. These are relevant on themselves because of this new texture that really sets and looks dewy but doesn't feel heavier on the skin. I really like that innovation. I wish I could see that lift, but maybe I don't have anything to lift though. I don't know. The blushes, the texture is really nice. It's a kind of a whipped foamy texture but feels really creamy. They are, as I said, really versatile in the sense that they adjust to any texture or finish that you have already put on your skin or that you will apply on top of. And the colors are beautiful. I really hope she expands the shade range. The new lip colors, I mean, the lipsticks are always gorgeous. I'd say I wouldn't go for a punchy color in this texture. I like the nudes in this kind of more sheer, more slightly shiny texture, and then I prefer the bolder colors to be matte. But that's my personal preference. They're really comfortable, really nice on the lips. And the glosses, I mean, I have several in very similar shades for a reason. These are really comfortable in the type of texture, again, that is pretty different from everything that I have tried personally. They do have color and pigment to them, so they're not extremely sheer like a lip oil would be. But they have that comfort that a lip oil can deliver. I loved these new additions to the collection. I love the fact that Lisa Eldridge only launches products a couple of times a year. I hate fast fashion makeup. Although I love ColourPop, I don't like the anxiety of missing out on things because they keep being discontinued to open more spots for new things that come out every week. I can't deal with that. I love the fact that each product has been really thought out and really planned to be a part of a set of staples, I'd say. And I like the fact that she drops things, but she gives you a couple of videos showing what is coming out and how they work on different skin tones, so that you have time to make a decision and you have enough of a warning, I hope, to, you know, keep saving some money and setting some money aside to buy the stuff, which I really appreciate. These are not inexpensive products. These are not extremely high luxury in terms of price, but in terms of the performance, these are up there in my humble opinion. The light has been going in and out and it's been so annoying, and I'm smiling on the outside but I'm screaming on the inside and it's getting to my nerves, so it's time to say goodbye. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. Also consider subscribe if you haven't already, and spread the word and tell people that I exist. And also let me know in the comments below, have you bought anything from this launch? What have you bought? Do you like the stuff? Or are you not interested in Lisa Eldridge makeup? And if so, how can you? It's fine. We're fine. Anyway, as usual, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!